this hour on VTV News. Vietnam and Cambodia strengthen ties at high-level party meeting. And groundbreaking policies approved for science and digital transformation. In our world news, Arab leaders meet for Gaza reconstruction.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It is 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Huyền Trần with the top stories. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm and Cambodian People's Party President and Senate President Hun Sen co-chaired a high-level meeting between the two countries' parties on Friday in Ho Chi Minh City. The event marks a significant step in deepening the strong bilateral ties and comprehensive cooperation, reinforcing their long-term partnership in a changing global landscape.
At the meeting, the two leaders discussed global and regional developments and issues of mutual interest. They reviewed past cooperation results and agreed on future collaboration directions. CPP President Hun Sen highly praised the Communist Party of Vietnam for its decisive efforts in streamlining the organizational structures at all levels, considering it a valuable lesson for Cambodia. The two leaders agreed to further strengthen political relations as a foundation for overall bilateral ties, enhance cooperation between leaders, and effectively implement high-level agreements. They committed to bolstering collaboration in various fields in line with each country's strengths. Additionally, they emphasized deeper and more effective cooperation between party agencies, the National Assembly, government, ministries, the Fatherland Front, civil organizations, and local authorities, ensuring a significant mark on bilateral relations in the new development era. At the meeting, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and Prime Minister Hun Manet endorsed the assessments and strategic orientations set by General Secretary Tô Lâm and CPP President Hun Sen regarding the deep and comprehensive relationship between the two parties and nations. They further clarified achievements in implementing conclusions from the 2023 high-level meeting, covering political and diplomatic cooperation, defense and security, economic collaboration, education, legal frameworks, and cultural tourism initiatives. The two prime ministers addressed existing challenges and agreed on key priorities for the near future, particularly initiatives to strengthen economic connectivity between Vietnam and Cambodia, as well as among Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos.
Now, during the Friday government meeting on economic growth, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh reaffirmed the government's commitment to achieving at least 8% GDP growth in 2025. He emphasized the nation's unified efforts, stating, "The party has given the directive, the government is aligned, the National Assembly supports it, and the people are behind us. Now we just need to act." The Prime Minister outlined several key strategies, including a focus on innovative thinking, mobilizing public resources for rapid yet sustainable development, and ensuring macroeconomic stability. His agenda calls for stronger labor productivity, improved policies for businesses, efficient public investment, and targeted financial and monetary policies. The government aims to continue addressing emerging issues while pushing for bold economic reforms, ensuring the nation's growth remains stable and robust. Vietnam announced on February 21st the baseline for determining its territorial sea width in the Gulf of Tonkin, following Resolution number 68 issued by the National Assembly's Standing Committee on February 14, 2025. The baseline consists of straight-line segments connecting islands and islets per the 2000 delimitation agreement with China. This aligns with UN Clause 1982 and Vietnam's 2012 Law of the Sea, ensuring compliance with international treaties. It also defines Vietnam's maritime boundaries, reinforcing sovereignty, supporting economic development, and enhancing maritime management and international cooperation. Prime Minister of New Zealand, Christopher Luxon, will pay an official visit to Vietnam and attend the second ASEAN Future Forum 2025 from February 25th to 28th. The visit will be made at the invitation of Vietnamese Prime Minister Phie, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, on Friday afternoon, during a meeting with leaders from several ministries, Permanent Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Hòa Bình emphasized that the draft resolution on financial centers in Vietnam should outline key principles and policies while providing specific details. He urged ministries to consider international best practices and advise the government on issuing decrees to align with global standards. The government plans to submit the resolution to the National Assembly for approval in May. The Deputy Prime Minister also asked Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang City to prepare infrastructure and human resources, while relevant ministries continue to refine the craft. Politburo member, chairman of the Central Theory Council and president of the Ho Chi Minh National Academy of Politics, Nguyễn Xuân Thắng, held a meeting with Chen Gang, member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China, CPC, and secretary of the CPC Committee of China's Guangxi Autonomous Region in Hạ Long City, Quảng Ninh Province on Thursday. The meeting, part of Chen's visit for a New Year gathering of party secretaries from Vietnam's Quảng Ninh, Lạng Sơn, Cao Bằng, Hà Giang, and China's Guangxi, focused on strengthening ties. Chairman Nguyễn Xuân Thắng welcomed Chen's visit, praised Guangxi's commitment to cooperation, and highlighted opportunities in education, infrastructure, and technology. For his part, Chen reaffirmed Guangxi's dedication to deepening Vietnam-China ties, expanding trade, investment, and AI collaboration, and fostering people-to-people exchanges. On Friday afternoon, the 16th Joint Working Committee conference between several Vietnamese localities and China's Guangxi Autonomous Region took place. The National Assembly has approved a resolution to pilot new policies, removing barriers in science, technology, and digital transformation. Aligned with the Politburo's Resolution number 57, this move sparks confidence and momentum for Vietnam's innovation landscape.
A key pilot policy aims to ease financial constraints on state budget spending. Instead of the previous bidding process, a lump sum allocation will now be applied to science and technology projects, streamlining procedures and reducing bureaucratic burdens.
With 200 research topics yearly, our university previously needed 30 staff to manage fragmented tasks. Now, streamlined processes reduce 10 items to 1, simplifying record management.
Another key pilot policy aims to drive groundbreaking research by embracing risk in scientific and technological development. Previously, the absence of this mechanism led scientists to play it safe, sticking closely to initial plans. By allowing for risk-taking, this policy encourages bold, innovative breakthroughs rather than predictable outcomes.
With new policies, scientists can prioritize the quality and impact of their research over strict adherence to initial proposals.
Public science and technology organizations will now have greater autonomy in managing finances and hiring personnel, creating more opportunities to attract talent and establish businesses. This change removes legal barriers that previously hindered scientists from commercializing their research.
The Politburo's Resolution number 57 was issued in December. In just 2 months, the National Assembly moved to institutionalize Resolution 57, showing strong commitment to advancing Vietnam's science and technology.
By aggressively implementing pilot policies to remove barriers in science, technology, and digital transformation, Vietnam aims to achieve its 2030 goal, boosting science and technology's contribution to economic growth beyond 50% and advancing toward a modern, high-income economy.
Coming up next on VTV News. Developing expressway enhances connectivity in the Northwest region. and businesses take action to retain a local workforce. Welcome back to VTV News. Now, nearly 300 kilometers of expressways are under construction across the northwest region, gradually eliminating traffic bottlenecks. And these developments will serve as new growth drivers, expanding opportunities for local and regional development.
Right after Tet, workers and engineers returned to the Huabing-Sunla Expressway site. Spanning over 34 kilometers of complex terrain, many packages aim to complete the roadbed before this year's rainy season.
The contractor has deployed sufficient machinery and, with favorable conditions, is on track to meet the schedule.
We have cleared 12 kilometers and will complete the project site clearance in the first quarter of this year.
Currently, 1,700 kilometers of expressways are being built nationwide, connecting 48 provinces and cities. Many of these routes will unlock development in areas previously hindered by traffic congestion.
Huabing has planned to leverage the expressway by developing the Da River Reservoir area for tourism, while designating both sides of the route for residential and industrial zones.
This year, 1,200 kilometers of expressways will be completed, with work starting on 19 new transport projects, boosting growth and ensuring sustainable development for 2026 to 2030.
Nghệ An province has officially opened 2 new sub-border gates with Laos. The Thông Thụ Nậm Tai and Thanh Thủy Nậm On gates will facilitate the free movement of people, vehicles and goods between Nghệ An province and the Lao provinces of Hua Phan and Bole Kham Se. This follows an official request from Lao authorities to enhance cross-border trade. And along with the established Nậm Cắn International Border Gate, these new crossings will strengthen import-export activities between Vietnam and Laos, while fostering trade, tourism, and economic development in the border regions. Once hubs of labor migration, provinces like Thanh Hóa, Nghệ An, and Quảng Ngãi are now offering better incentives to retain workers. In Quảng Ngãi, businesses in Dung Quất Economic Zone and Quảng Ngãi Industrial Park are actively recruiting with attractive benefits to secure a stable workforce. More to follow.
To keep up with 2025 order deadlines, this enterprise's factories have been operating overtime while actively expanding their workforce across various positions.
We ensure a comfortable work environment and offer overtime opportunities for higher earnings.
82 enterprises in Dung Quất Economic Zone and Quảng Ngãi Industrial Parks are hiring 18,500 workers, with salaries from $235 to $862 USD per month. Besides general workers, businesses offer incentives to attract and retain highly skilled talent.
To meet 2025 production demands, our company will hire over 3,000 workers across all skill levels and collaborate with schools for training. All employees will receive at least basic vocational training.
This year, we've raised salaries, introduced performance evaluations, and started sharing company profits with employees. A portion of the monthly earnings will be rewarded to staff based on the company's financial performance.
Quảng Ngãi will host 88 job fairs, both online and in person this year to attract local workers.
Now, with with approximately 10,800 hectares for the flower cultivation sector and an estimated productivity of 4.4 billion stems in 2024. The highland city of Đà Lạt ranks among Vietnam's leading flower production hubs. However, the sector faces increasing competition from imported flowers and other domestic cultivation regions. To remain competitive and achieve sustainable growth, local flower growers have invested in new flower varieties and advanced technologies. More on this in the following.
These temperate flowers, which are traditionally grown from imported bulbs, are now being cultivated more efficiently thanks to technological advancements. Instead of importing fully grown bulbs, gardeners now import only tissue-cultured seedlings, which they further develop locally.
These flowers require significant investment in infrastructure, including factories, irrigation systems, and climate control to ensure optimal growing conditions.
Beyond production, improving the flower market and distribution channels are the new key focus. The Đà Lạt Flower Exchange plays a crucial role in stabilizing the market by integrating technology into purchasing, storage, and packaging, all aimed at ensuring consistent quality and pricing for farmers.
With proper classification, buyers can access high-quality flowers at competitive prices.
We prioritize developing key flower varieties and continuously introduce new breeds to align with market trends and consumer preferences.
Flower cultivation is highly profitable, generating an average revenue of $40,000 per hectare per year. Lam Dong Province aims to establish Đà Lạt City as a premier flower production center in Southeast Asia, ensuring a high-value and sustainable future for the flower sector.
On February 20th, the Costa Serena cruise ship carrying nearly 3,500 international visitors to Phú Quốc, Pearl Island. International visitors will have one day to visit and experience Phú Quốc services, such as the 3-line oversea cable car, Hoàng Hôn Town, Grand World Phú Quốc area, Vin Wonders, and explore the beauty of cultural life, enjoy cuisine, and shop for specialties on the Pearl Island. Thus, from February 14th to 20th, Phú Quốc welcomed 3 5-star cruise ships carrying more than 8,000 international visitors. A touch of autumn in the middle of spring, and that's how many people describe the current scene in the coastal city of Nha Trang. The banyan trees lining the streets are turning red, painting the city with warm hues. And this fleeting season captivates both locals and tourists as they come to marvel at its beauty and uniqueness.
The banyan trees change colors almost overnight, catching many by surprise. One day, their leaves are green. Within a week or two, shades of yellow, orange, and red take over. As the leaves fall, the once lush trees stand bare, revealing a hidden beauty. This symbolizes renewal and the quiet passage of time.
I never paid much attention to these trees before, but today, seeing them like this makes me feel connected to nature.
For photographers, the banyan tree's transformation is an annual event that they would never miss. Every year, the emotions they evoke are different, but one thing remains the same. The red leaves bring a new charm to Nha Trang.
The red leaves fall, the green ones sprout, and the cycle repeats. It reminds me that the new year is full of life and renewal.
This brief season attracts people for different reasons. Some come to admire the colors, whilst others are drawn to the banyan trees for photography or cherished memories from childhood.
It brings back memories of my childhood, picking them up with friends, making dresses from them, and pressing the heart-shaped ones into notebooks.
The red leaf banyan season lasts only about a month after Tet, making it a fleeting but magical time. Many find themselves pausing beneath the trees, taking the beauty of the changing leaves. It is a reminder of nature's quiet, ever-renewing cycle.
Coming up next in our world news. Arab leaders meet for Gaza reconstruction. and later on G20 cooperation to tackle global challenges. Arab leaders convened Friday in Riyadh, the capital city of Saudi Arabia, to discuss a plan for rebuilding the Gaza Strip. And this meeting follows U.S. President Donald Trump's controversial proposal to designate Gaza as U.S. territory and also relocate its over 2 million residents to other countries. Attended by leaders from Gulf nations, Egypt, Jordan, and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, the summit focused on an Egyptian-drafted reconstruction plan estimated at $50 billion. The proposal ensures that Palestinians remain in their homeland, while aiming to fully restore Gaza over a 3 to 5 year period. And under this plan, post-conflict Gaza would be convened by an independent committee of Palestinian technocrats who are unaffiliated with Hamas or the Palestinian Authority. In response, a Hamas spokesperson stated that the group may not necessarily participate in future political or administrative arrangements if it serves the interests of the Palestinian people. The G20 foreign ministers meeting kicked off Thursday in Johannesburg of South Africa. And in his opening remarks, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa urged member nations to uphold diplomatic solutions to conflicts. He emphasized that the principles of the United Nations Charter, multilateralism, and international law must remain central to the group's efforts, serving as the foundation for global unity. Discussions also focus on strategies to drive economic recovery and enhance global stability. This meeting serves as a key preparatory step for the upcoming G20 summit, which will be hosted in Africa for the first time this November.
Aspiration is reflected in the UN Charter, one that is founded.
China's Ministry of Commerce announced Thursday the launch of anti-dumping investigations into pork imports and anti-subsidy investigations into dairy products from the European Union. A ministry spokesperson stated that China will handle these cases openly and transparently, in accordance with domestic laws and World Trade Organization (WTO) regulations. This latest move is widely seen as Beijing's response to the EU's recent decision to impose additional tariffs of up to 45% on Chinese electric vehicles. The EU claims its anti-subsidy investigation revealed that Chinese automakers benefit from unfair government support. In Tasmania, Australia, the biggest bee pollinator is fast-tracking new technology that would prevent future outbreaks of diseases in hives. And this includes introducing artificial insemination of queen bees, which could help prevent the spread of the destructive varroa mite from interstate. More on this in the following.
It takes a steady hand and delicate work to artificially inseminate these queen bees.
We've all been trying to learn this AI process for the last week and a half. Yeah, so it's been very intense, long hours.
At Tasmanian Pollination, a small team is working to future-proof 6,000 bee colonies against disease, a move driven by the growing threat of varroa mite. Renee van der Molen has travelled from the Netherlands to train local staff.
We are using an insemination device and a camera, and we already collected the semen this morning from the drones. And we are inseminating the queens with about 8 microliters each.
The technique is helping fast-track genetic improvements, and with varroa mite prompting strict bans on bringing in bees from mainland Australia, it's become a necessity rather than an option.
It is a big step for the company, brought on by not being able to buy in genetics from the mainland. We probably should have done this earlier, but our hand is forced at the moment.
Building a resilient bee population, one queen at a time.
Now let's take a look at the weather forecast for Vietnam and some other locations around the world. And that's all the news we have for this hour. To rewatch our program, you can download our mobile app VTVgo or check out our YouTube channel VTV4Go. Thank you for watching and see you next time.